God sent his son. They called him Jesus. He came to love.
Let's grab our basic instructions before leaving Earth, and let's see what the Creator, Father God, has in store for us today. Let's get started on Ezekiel 19. Moreover, take thou up a lamentation for the prince of Israel, and say, What is thy matter? A lioness, she lay down among lions. She nourished her whip among young lions, and she brought up one of her whips. It became a young lion, and it learned to catch the prey. It devoured men. The nation also heard of him. He was taken in her pit, and they brought him with a chain into the land of Egypt. Now when she saw that she had waited, and her hope was lost, then she took up another of her whips, and made him a young lion. And she went up and down among the lions. He became a young lion, and learned to catch the prey, and devoured men. And he knew their desolate places, and he laid waste their cities, and the land was desolate, and the fullness thereof by the noise of his roaring. Then the nations set against him on every side from the providence, and spread their net over him, and he was taken in their pit. And they put him in ward and chains, and brought him to the king of Babylon. They brought him into holes, that his voice could no more be heard upon the mountain of Israel. Thy mother is like a vine in thy bloody plants, planted by the waters. She was fruitful and full of branches by reason of many waters. And she had a strong rod for the scrips of them that bore rule, and her statue was exalted among the thick branches. And she appeared in her high with the multitude of her branches. But she was plucked up in a fury. She was cast down to the ground, and the east wind dried up her fruit. Her strong rods were broken and withered. Fire consumed them. The fire consumed them. And now she is planted in the wilderness, in a dry and thirsty ground. And fire is gone out of a rod of her branches, which hath devoured her fruit, so that she has no strong rod to be scripture to rule. This is a lamentation, and shall be for a lamentation. Alright, Ezekiel 20. And it came to pass in the 7th year, in the 5th month, in the 10th day of the month, that certain of the elders of Israel came to inquire of the Lord, and sat before him. Then came the word of the Lord unto me, saying, Son of man, speak unto the elders of Israel, and say unto them, Thus saith the Lord God, Are ye come to inquire of me? As I live, saith the Lord God, I will not be inquired of by you. Wilt thou judge them, son of man? Wilt thou judge them? Cause them to know the abomination of their fathers, and say unto them, Thus saith the Lord God, In the day when I chose Israel, and I lift up my hand unto the seed of the house of Jacob, and made myself known unto them in the land of Egypt, when I lift up my hand unto them, saying, I am the Lord your God. In the day that I lifted up my hand unto them, to bring them forth of the land of Egypt into the land that I had espoused for them, flowing with milk and honey, which is the glory of all lands. Then said I unto them, Cast ye away every man the abomination of his eyes, and defile not yourself with the idols of Egypt. I am the Lord your God. But they rebelled against me, and would not hearken unto me. They did not every man cast away the abomination of their eyes, neither did they forsake the idols of Egypt. Then I said, I will pour out my fury upon them, and accomplish my anger against them in the midst of the land of Egypt. But I want for my name's sake that it should not be polluted before the heathen, among whom they were, in whose sight I made myself known unto them, in bringing them forth out of the land of Egypt. Wherefore I caused them to go forth out of the land of Egypt, and brought them into the wilderness. And I gave them my statutes, and I showed them my judgment, which if a man do, he shall even live in them. Moreover, also I gave them my Sabbath, to be a sign between me and them, and they might know that I am the Lord that sanctified them. But the house of Israel rebelled against me in the wilderness. They walked not in my statutes, and they despised my judgment, which if a man do, he shall even live in them. And my Sabbath they greatly polluted. Then I said, I will pour out my fury upon them in the wilderness to consume them. But I want for my name's sake that it should not be polluted before the heathen, in whom sight I brought them out. Yet also I lifted up my hand unto them in the wilderness, that I would not bring them into the land which I had given them, flowing with milk and honey, which is the glory of all lands, because they despised my judgment, and walked not in my statute, but polluted my Sabbath, for their heart went after their idols. Nevertheless, my eyes spared them from destroying them, neither did I make an end of them in the wilderness. But I said unto their children in the wilderness, Walk ye not in the statute of your father, neither observe their judgment, nor defile yourself with their idols. I am the Lord your God. Walk in my statute, and keep my judgment, and do them. And he hallowed my Sabbath, and they shall be a sign between me and you, that ye may know that I am the Lord your God. Notwithstanding, the children rebelled against me. They walked not in my statute, neither kept my judgment to do them, which if a man do, he shall even live in them. They polluted my Sabbath. Then I said, I would pour out my fury upon them, and accomplish my anger against them in the wilderness. Nevertheless, I withdrew my hand, and wrought for my name's sake, that it should not be polluted in the sight of the heathen, in whose sight I brought them forth. I lifted up my hand unto them also in the wilderness, that I would scatter them among the heathen, and despise them through their countries, because they had not executed my judgment, but had despised my statutes, and had polluted my Sabbath, and their eyes were after their fathers' idols. Wherefore I gave them also statutes that were not good, and judgment, whereby they should not live. But I polluted them in their own gifts, and that they caused to pass through the fire all that opened the womb, that I might take them desolate, to the ends that they might know that I am the Lord. Therefore, Son of man, speak unto the house of Israel, and say unto them, Thus saith the Lord God, Yet in your fathers have blaspheme me, and in that they have committed a trespass against me. For when I had brought them into the land for which I left up my hand to give it to them, then they saw every high hill and all the thicket trees, and they offered their sacrifice, and they presented the provocation of their offering there. Also, they made their sweet Savior, and poured out their drink offering. Then I said unto them, What is the high place whereunto ye go? And the name thereof is called Hannah unto this day. Wherefore say unto the house of Israel, Thus saith the Lord God, Are ye polluted after the manner of your fathers, and commit ye whoredom after their abominations? For when you offer your gift, when you make your sons to pass through the fire, ye pollute yourself with all your idols, even unto this day. And shall I be inquired of by you, O house of Israel? As I live, saith the Lord God, I will not inquire by you. And that which cometh unto your mind shall not be at all, that ye may say, We will be as the heathen, as the families of the country, and serve wood and stone. As I live, saith the Lord God, surely with a mighty hand, and with a stretched out arm, and with the fury poured out, will I rule over you. And I will bring you out from the people, and I will gather you out of the country wherein ye are scattered, with a mighty hand, and with a stretched out arm, and with my fury poured out. And I will bring you unto the wilderness of the people, and there I will plead with you face to face, like as I was pleaded with your fathers in the wilderness of the land of Egypt. So will I plead with you, saith the Lord God. And I will cause you to pass under the rod, and I will bring you unto the bond of the covenant. And I will purge out from among you the rebels, and them that transgress against me. I will bring them forth out of the country where they were sojourned, and they shall not enter into the land of Israel. And ye shall know that I am the Lord. As for you, O house of Israel, thus saith the Lord God, Go ye, serve ye every one his idol, and afterwards also, if you will not hearken unto me, but pollute ye my holy name, no more with your gifts and with your idols. For in my holy mountain, in the mountain of the high of Israel, saith the Lord God, there shall all the house of Israel and all of them in the land serve me. There I will accept them, and there will I require their offering and their firstfruits of their oblation. Okay. With all your holy things, I will accept you with your sweet savor, when I bring you out of from the people, and gather you out of the countries wherein you have been scattered, and I will be sanctified in you before the heathen. And ye shall know that I am the Lord, when I shall bring you into the land of Israel, into the country from the which I lift up my hand to give it unto your fathers. And there shall ye remember your ways and all your doing, wherein ye have been defiled, and ye shall loathe yourselves in your own sight for all your evils that you have committed. And ye shall know that I am the Lord, when I have wrought with you for my name's sake, not according to your wicked ways, nor according to your corrupt doing, O you house of Israel, saith the Lord God. Moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face towards the south, and drop thy word towards the south, and prophesy against the forest of the south field, and say unto the forest of the south, Hear the word of the Lord. Thus saith the Lord God, Behold, I will kindle a fire in thee, and it shall devour every green tree in thee, and every dry tree. The flaming flame shall not be quenched, and all faces from the south to the north shall be burned therein. And all flesh shall see that I, the Lord, have kindled it. It shall not be quenched. Then said I, O Lord God, they say of me, doeth he not speak parables? Thanks for listening. I sure do appreciate it. Hugs and kisses. How to donate to PayPal. You mash on Poor Man's Sewing, and then you come up here and you look for About, and you mash on About, and right here you hit on Donate to Poor Man's Sewing. It's people like you that help me out, and it is really appreciated. And I hope you many blessings in this hard times that we are fixing to go through. A lot of hugs and kisses to you.